Today, we are diving deep into the Song of Solomon, which is, without a doubt, one of the most passionate and, let's be honest, mysterious books in the Bible. But what if this incredible love poem isn't just about human romance? Our source material makes a powerful case that it's actually a blueprint for our connection with the divine. Okay, let's get into it.
So this is the big question, right? The one our source material puts front and center. It argues that this deeply personal, intense poem is really a grand allegory, a story not just about two people in love, but about the profound, all-encompassing relationship between the Creator and humanity itself.
I mean, wow. The poem opens with this raw, powerful cry for intimacy. The bride, who is our narrator, she craves this connection. She values her beloved's affection more than wine, which you have to remember was the most celebrated precious drink in the ancient world. So right from the get-go, we know this is a relationship of incredible depth and passion.
To really unlock what's going on here, our source tells us we need to look at this poem through a very specific lens, the lens of a powerful allegory. It's the story of a divine bridegroom and his human bride.
So who's who in this divine romance? Well, the bridegroom represents Jesus Christ. And the bride? She symbolizes the church. That's the entire community of believers, all of us. According to the source, understanding this metaphor is the absolute key to unlocking the song's deepest truths.
But why is this relationship this central theme of the whole book? The source argues it's because we, as humans, were literally designed for this connection. It lays out these principles it calls covenant keys. You can think of them as the fundamental promises hardwired into our design, and we're going to uncover them as the bride's story unfolds.
The first four keys really lay the groundwork for everything. Number 1, God is the sovereign creator. Simple enough. 2, that creator loves you unconditionally. 3, you've been fully equipped with everything you need to fulfill your life's purpose. And 4, this one's huge. A deep, powerful need to love God is built right into the fabric of our being.
Okay, so if we're designed for this perfect love, where's the drama? Where's the conflict? Well, like in any great story, it comes from within. The whole narrative shifts, and we start to see the bride's painful, broken perception of herself.
She says she's sunburnt, like the tents of Kedar. Now, these weren't fancy palaces. The tents of Kedar were the weathered, dark, dusty shelters of desert nomads. So in her own eyes, she feels worn out, dirty, and completely unworthy of a king.
So what does being sunburnt really mean in this allegory? It represents the damage, the scars from a life lived apart from the divine. It's the mark of sin, of heartbreak, of spiritual neglect. She feels spiritually weathered, totally separated from the one she was created to love.
And you know, this spiritual heartbreak isn't just some vague feeling. The source argues it has a real tangible cost. And this leads us to the next two covenant keys that are revealed right in the middle of her struggle.
And these keys are stark. They really highlight just how devastating this separation is. Key 6 says that each heartbreak literally kills a part of your life. And Key 7 adds that it also damages your brain, chipping away at your intellectual and emotional capacity. This is the broken state the bride finds herself in.
But then, just as the bride's self-image hits rock bottom, boom, the entire perspective of the poem flips on its head. We suddenly get to see her, not through her own broken eyes, but through the loving eyes of the bridegroom, the king. And wow, the difference is just profound.
This contrast right here is the absolute heart of the story. She sees herself as a dusty, worn-out tent, but he sees her as the curtains of Solomon, these exquisite fabrics known for their beauty and fine craftsmanship. While she feels flawed and lost and ashamed, he calls her the fairest among women, and, my favorite part, he calls her my friend.
And this brings us to a huge one, covenant key number 8. It's the divine perspective. The source explains that the bridegroom doesn't see the bride based on her current, sunburnt state at all. No, he sees the perfect, holy person she was always created to be, with her past already completely wiped clean.
He even compares her to the horses of Pharaoh's chariots. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds kind of weird to us today, right? But you have to understand, in that time, this was the ultimate compliment. These horses were the absolute pinnacle of strength, beauty, and majesty. That's how he sees her, even when she feels totally broken.
So the big question is, how does the bride get from that place of isolation to the incredible belonging the groom is offering? Well, the poem doesn't just leave her hanging. The bridegroom gives her a clear, actionable path to find him.
And this is her turning point. This is where she stops hiding in her shame and she actively starts seeking him out. She's just done with being a veiled outsider. She wants a real, personal, face-to-face relationship.
And his reply is so simple and practical. He tells her, "Go out, follow the tracks of the flock, and find the shepherd's tents." The source interprets this as a crystal-clear instruction. To find him, she has to seek out and join the community of believers. The path to personal intimacy with God is found through community.
And because she takes that step, because she follows his path, he brings her into his inner chambers. This reveals covenant key number 5. God allows us deep into his heart. It's the final destination, a place of complete openness, true intimacy, and total belonging.
So the journey from separation to intimacy is complete. But what does this restored relationship actually look and feel like? The final verses of this chapter describe the home they build together, and it's a sanctuary that is safe, strong, and absolutely built to last.
The imagery here is just so powerful. The shared space they create isn't just a structure, it's alive. Their bed is verdant, which means it's green and thriving and full of life. And the house itself is built from the strongest, most durable materials you could find, cedar and fir.
Let's break this down, because every word matters here. The verdant bed, that's a relationship overflowing with life and growth. The cedar beams, that's a foundation of absolute, unshakable strength and stability. And the cypress or fir panels, they represent durability and a pleasant, holy aroma.
And this just brilliantly pulls it all together. You see, the home they build isn't made of stone and mortar. It's a metaphor for the relationship itself, one that's founded on divine strength, built to last for eternity, and provides a sacred space of absolute safety and peace.
So we'll end on this thought. The source presents this as a journey for all of us, from feeling sunburned and unworthy to being seen as powerful and beautiful, from the isolation of a broken heart to the complete security of a home built on an unbreakable foundation. So the real question for us is, what part of us keeps identifying with that weathered tent when the King has always seen us as his treasure?